New this morning, the state of Minnesota received half of the $2.1 billion allotted from the federal government's coronavirus relief fund. Governor Tim Walz announced last night that more than $1 billion of that funding is now in Minnesota's hands. The remainder of the money, which is expected to arrive before the end of April, will be distributed to local governments within the state. The latest COVID-19 numbers in Minnesota show that the state's death toll is still on the rise. 8 more fatalities have been reported, bringing the total now to 87. State health officials are reporting a total now of 1,809 cases. 197 people are in the hospital, and 93 of them are in the ICU. 970 people are listed as recovered. Bars, restaurants, gyms, they can all count on keeping their doors closed a while longer following North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum's decision to extend closures of certain businesses until at least April 30th. One thing all business owners can agree on, they're ready for the closures to be over.
I'm ready to get rolling. I'm ready to get back to some type of normalcy, whatever that normalcy may be. It's not going to be the norm that we know. It's going to be a new norm. But we can do that here.
Governor Burgum said he will reassess the closure restrictions and see if they can be lifted in a few weeks. North Dakota has had its largest single-day increase in coronavirus cases. The state health department says there are 24 new cases, bringing the total to 365. The death toll remains at 9. Health officials say there are 36 coronavirus patients who are in the hospital, and 142 have recovered from the virus. The majority of the new cases are in Cass and Grand Forks counties. It's now 4:33. Once again, it's a chilly start to our days. We're still in the 20s. Let's see how much of a rebound we can get today as we check in with meteorologist Lisa Green. Hi, Lisa.
Good morning. I wanted to show you that we did have some signs of improvement yesterday. So we are working our way out of this. Yes, it is a little bit chilly out there this morning, but we're working on warming up. So here's a look at our highs yesterday. We got back into the 30s after several days of temperatures into the 20s. A high of 37 in Fargo. We got to 36 in Grand Forks and 38 over in Jamestown. So things are looking up for us here today. We're looking at temperatures this morning. Still cold, still well below freezing in a lot of places, but we're not seeing any single digits on the map. Another sign of improvement. Our lowest number right now, Park Rapids at 16 degrees. That's about double where we were yesterday around this time. And it's 24 in Fargo, 19 in Grand Forks, and 22 currently in Jamestown. So temperatures, not the warmest, but they're going up. Here's a look at our wind speeds. We are light. We have winds up to about 10 miles per hour, and that's it. And our visibility is looking really good here to start off our day today. So improving that visibility. Here's a look at your radar and satellite map. Not a lot to show you right now, which is great to talk about. Now, you see that big blob of blue and white on the map there. That is not snow. It looks like we're having a radar issue up in Canada there. So no problem with that. No concerns at this point in time. Though there may be a few flurries. You can see Fergus Falls south of there. Maybe a couple of areas of flurries down into Grant and Traverse counties this morning. Something to watch out for. And we can't rule that out today. Now, most of us, though, will be able to avoid some of that snowfall activity that we had. Even yesterday, it was still hitting us. We're looking at temperatures into the 20s and teens this morning. As we move on to the later morning and get into the afternoon, not a whole lot to show other than those temperatures on the rise. By the time we get to the noon hour, we will see some numbers very similar to where we were yesterday and rising a little bit more from there into the mid 30s to even some low 40s in the southern end of the valley. So again, well below average, but making our way up. As we head into the evening hours tonight, expect to see a few clouds around, but overall looking like a quiet and mainly clear day. Heading into tonight, overnight and into tomorrow morning, you see that wind out of the southwest, not very strong, so it's not going to do a whole lot for us, but it will keep our temperatures a little milder to start off tomorrow morning, or at least not any worse than they are this morning. Now we'll build off of that tomorrow. Here's 10 a.m. on Friday. You can see that we're looking at some wind out of the southwest. We're seeing temperatures on the rise through the afternoon, and we'll get into those mid 40s to even about 50 degrees for your high for Friday. So building off of each day at this point in time. And you can see temperatures are looking pretty good. Maybe a little more breezy on your Friday. A cold front will be approaching for Saturday. That may touch off a shower or two. That may bring us a couple of cooler temperatures on Sunday, relatively speaking. We're still looking at some warm weather. And of course, you see next week, we still got that 60 plus forecast coming up for you for the week. So warm it up finally.
Okay, that's all I can focus on. Light at the end of the tunnel there. Thank you, Lisa. New this morning, President Donald Trump will issue guidelines on reopening the economy today. The Washington Post first reported that a draft plan to reopen the economy is being circulated by the Trump administration. The plan will advise areas with low numbers of COVID-19 infections to begin pulling back on social distancing measures after May 1st. Harder hit areas may be asked to wait another month or more. Officials say the White House would work closely with states to ensure reopening efforts are done safely and only when local outbreaks are deemed contained. The news conference will be held at the White House this afternoon to finalize these new guidelines. Another retirement home in Fargo has confirmed that a resident has tested positive for COVID-19. Bethany Retirement Living confirmed that someone living in their 42nd Street facility has contracted the disease. They also say that their University Drive location remains clear. The company says it's working with the North Dakota Department of Health to determine the next steps. A manufacturing plant in the Northern Valley has shut down for cleaning after a number of employees tested positive for COVID-19. A spokesperson for the city of Grand Forks says production at the LM Wind Power Plant has stopped. The exact number of cases isn't being released at this point. And also, we now know Sanford Hospital in Fargo now has 19 employees who have tested positive for COVID, and 10 people are currently hospitalized with the virus at Sanford Health. Sanford said at a city news conference yesterday that most of the new cases are people who got it from someone who tested positive. Police have identified the victim in a deadly Grand Forks house fire. 63-year-old Charles Courier was found Sunday night in his trailer at 2461 Estabrook Drive in Grand Forks. Investigators say it looks like the fire happened sometime over the past few days. They say there's no evidence of foul play at this time. They are asking anyone with information to contact them. A team at the University of Minnesota is hoping their compact ventilator will be able to help save lives when traditional machines are not available. Coming up next, a look at their low-cost solution that was just approved by the FDA.